Trading days, April 28th, 2015. This is a daily chart of the S&P 500, and we're going to use it to look at the two planets that are either going retrograde or direct. Just color-wise, anything orange is got to do with Jupiter. Anything purple is got to do with Pluto. So on April the 8th, that's this orange arrow here, Jupiter is turning direct, or it appears to go in direct motion from, currently it's in retrograde motion, or appearing to go backwards. These are not single day events. There's kind of a window around them, and in the case of Jupiter, the Sun always trines Jupiter approximately 6 days before it goes retrograde direct. So that's this circle here. After the Jupiter direct date, and that's approximately 20 days, we're going to find the the Sun squaring Jupiter. In this case, that happens on May the 4th, and that's this orange square here. So that's what this orange line is depicting. It's depicting a range around the date. The arrow pointing to the left, the purple arrow, that is that's showing a Pluto retrograde motion. Retrograde, the arrows pointing backwards, and like Jupiter, it's got a range, and that range is approximately 11 days before the retrograde motion. The Sun is going to square Pluto, and that's this square showing up here, and that lands on April the 5th. Similarly, after the retrograde date, in this case of Pluto, and approximately 20 days after, the Sun is going to trine Pluto, and that's May the 6th. So that's got a range, that's got a range. It's where they overlap, and it's got a big overlapping period. We could see some effect, may see some effect anyway, but just basically what the two planets are associated with. Jupiter first, it's the principle of expansion, increase, exaggeration. On the negative side, maybe things that are overdone, but it's known as the greater benefit in astrology, usually associated with something positive. Pluto, on the other hand, be anything but being associated with something positive. It is associated with the principles of power and debt, threats, big money, debt, and reform or changes to the status quo, or blocking the changes to the status quo. So those are the two planets involved. So we want to perhaps look at something overdone in debt. Might be a good way of describing this. Just on a personal note, if a retrograde planet hits any of your personal planets in your own horoscope, it's usually dealing with something from the past, something that you've got to either change or become aware of, some past event. Okay, that's all I want to say on this one. So this is going to stretch from a period from that starts on April the 2nd, right through to early May the 6th. Thanks very much for listening.